Good morning everybody, thanks for joining me again. Well, as you've seen, I've just taken a walk up to Bury Head. Had no plans today, weather didn't look too good, but there was a minke whale seen off Bury Head yesterday, so I thought I'd come up and see if it was still around. And as you saw, the tide was in, so I had a quick stop at the pool, took a couple of shots. But yeah, no great plans, but it's good to be out, and you never know what you're going to get. So what I think I might also do is show you some of the presets I've got on the camera, some of my camera settings. And when I come out, I never quite know what I'm going to see, so it's good to have some presets to capture the moments. For instance, if there's birds flying past here, I've got a preset just for that. Obviously the weather conditions, I sometimes adjust it. Anyway, yeah, I'll show you those in a bit. Well, as you can see, I've made it home out of the cold, although the forecast was for warm weather. On top of Berry Head in that wind, it was quite chilly. Didn't see the minke whale, but there's always another day. So, as promised, I'll show you some of the camera settings that I use. Well, I think I'll start by showing you the settings I use for filming. As you can see, I've chosen the movie icon on the top here, and let me show you some of the settings. So I'm at f11 in this case, but obviously I can change that quite quickly, and I'm on auto ISO. The important things really are the shutter speed, which I've got at 1/50th of a second, and the reason for that is that I have the recording settings at 25 frames a second, and the combination of that gives a much more cinematic look, having the shutter speed at double that of the frame rate. As you can see, I'm also in 4K, and the aspect ratio automatically defaults to 16:9 when you move it into the movie setting. Also, I've got it on continuous autofocus, and the focus area is wide, and I use that most of the time when I'm filming myself. I might change to manual focus if I want to get that bokeh effect when I'm filming wildlife or whatever. And that's about it. Okay, so next I'll show you the setting I use for the birds in flight. So I've got that set on the top here to the number 2 slot. As you can see, automatically comes up with the settings. I've got a thousandth of a setting as a starting point, and f5. And when I've got the telephoto lens on, that will give me the widest aperture. And as you zoom in, and the aperture becomes smaller with the focal length, then it changes. Again, I've got auto ISO. Let's just choose that. And when it comes to focus, I've been playing around with this a little bit. I started off by just having the focus in the center, and again continuous autofocus, but just recently I've found by having the zone so that there's a larger area to focus on, then I get more chance of getting the birds in focus as I'm panning with the birds in flight. Okay, so let's show you the other setting that I use. So I've got that set at slot number 1, and for this I've set it at 1/200th of a second, so I can always guarantee getting a sharp image. Handheld, I've got it set at f4.5, ISO is automatic. Now I've got this set so I expect to be taking a photograph of an object rather than a landscape, something that I need to pick the camera up quickly, flick it to number 1 and be able to take the shot. Also, what I've done is I've set it to take bracketed shots, so as you can see I've got it will take 3 shots, one underexposed and one overexposed, and that gives me the best chance of getting it exposed correctly. So that's the presets I use most of the time. Obviously, if I've got the time, I will always use manual for most photographs. But there's not to say I wouldn't use automatic. Modern cameras will always take a half decent photograph, so you know it's better to actually put it into auto and take an image rather than be faffing about and miss that image. So don't be afraid to use that. It's not just for beginners, and I'm sure most of you all know your cameras that this is aperture priority and this is shutter speed priority. I'm not going to go into all of that. So there you have it. That's some basic setups that I have on the camera. Maybe I'll do a better video of this in more depth with a better camera angle. I'm doing this in a bit of a rush with the kit that I have, so this is being filmed on my GoPro. So apologies for the quality, but hopefully that was helpful. And if you've got any suggestions, if you do anything different to that, you know, feel free to leave a comment below. Okay. Well, I think that's all for today. Hopefully you enjoyed that trip up to Bury Head, and although I'm no expert, hopefully I've been able to help some of you with the camera settings. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But hopefully I'll see you all next week. Bye for now. Cheerio.